Hello and welcome to this Promathematica for Competitive Exams channel. My name is Gracie and I've been teaching mathematics and Java since the early 2010s. We're going to start the discussion about competitive exams a little differently than you may be expecting. This module elaborates the problems and solutions for aptitude test and its comprehensive demonstration through Java programming. Why would I want to use Java? Well, here's a peek ahead at the answer. Because we'll be able to develop easily. A competitive examination is an examination where candidates are ranked according to their grades and/or percentile, and then top rankers are selected. Competitive examinations are considered an egalitarian way to select worthy applicants without risking influence peddling, bias, or other concerns. Early exposure to learning and competition builds confidence and sharpens skills, which raise your level from other students on the same platform. Competitive exams also help out in choosing a career as students start identifying their areas of interest while getting a deeper knowledge of subjects. Top business schools based in North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia conduct this exam. Several leading corporations also conduct such tests for assessing potential candidates' quantitative reasoning skills. Today, I am going to cover a very important topic. It is races and games of skill. I am going to represent several problems and solutions based around this topic. I will be writing code for the solutions using Java. So, let's get started without further delay. P, Q, R are the three contestants in a kilometers race. If P can give Q a start of 40 meters and P can give R a start of 64 meters, how many meters start can Q give R? Here is an answer with explanation. While P covers 1,000 meters, Q covers 1,000 minus 40 meters equals 960 meters and Q covers 1,000 minus 64 is equal to 936 meters. When Q covers 960 meters, R covers 936 meters. When Q covers 1,000 meters, R covers 936 divided by 960 multiplied by 1000 equals 975 meters. Therefore, Q can give R a start of 1000 minus 975 is equal to 25 meters. P can run 1 kilometers in 4 minutes 50 seconds. And Q in 5 minutes. How many meters start P give Q in a km race so that the race may end in a dead heat? Here is an answer with explanation. Time taken by P to run 1 kilometers equals 290 seconds. time taken by Q to run 1 km equals 300 seconds. P can give Q a start of 300 minus 290 is equal to 10 seconds. In 300 seconds, Q runs 1000 divided by 300 multiplied by 10 meters equals 100 by 3 meters. Therefore, P can give Q a start of 100 divided by 3 meters. In a race of 600 meters, P can beat Q by 60 meters, and in a race of 500 meters, Q can beat R by 50 meters. By how many meters will P beat R in a race of 400 meters? Here is an answer with explanation. If P runs 600 meters, Q runs 540 meters. If P runs 400 meters, Q runs 540 by 600 multiplied by 400 meters equals 360 meters. When Q runs 500 meters, R runs 450 meters. When Q runs 360 meters, R runs 450 meters, then R will run 450 by 500 multiplied by 360 is equal to 324 meters. Therefore, P beats R by 400 minus 324 is equal to 76 meters. Java is a high-level, class-based, object-oriented programming language that is designed to have as few implementation dependencies as possible. Programmers write once, run anywhere, meaning that compiled Java code can run on all platforms that support Java without the need for recompilation. The JDK is a development environment for building applications using the Java programming language. The JDK 12.0.2 Windows x64 bin exe includes tools useful for developing and testing programs written in the Java and running on the Java platform. In addition, the Spring Tool Suite, STS, provides the best Eclipse-powered development environment for building Spring-powered enterprise applications. STS supplies tools for all of the latest enterprise Java and Spring and comes on top of the latest Eclipse releases. STS supports application targeting to local, virtual, and cloud-based servers. It is freely available for development, and internal business operations use with no time limits. Here is the problem statement. I am going to define a new method for determining the race's games of skill for earlier solved problem 4. Let initialize total distance, distance given by PTOQ, and distance given by PTOR variables. Next, distance covered by Q is calculated total distance minus distance given by PTOQ. Next, distance covered by R is calculated total distance minus distance given by PTOR. Next, new distance covered by R is calculated as distance covered by R by distance covered by Q multiplied by 1000. Next, distance given by 2R equals total distance minus new distance covered by R. Here, I am printing the distance given by 2R. Execute the code by right-clicking on the race's games of skill for method. Here is the result on console. Here is the problem statement. I am going to define a new method for determining the race's games of skill for earlier solved problem 5. Let initialize total distance, time taken by P, and time taken by Q variables. Next, distance given by PTOQ is the difference between time taken by Q and time taken by P. Next, distance covered by Q equals total distance by time taken by Q multiplied by distance given by PTOQ. Here, I am printing the distance covered by Q. Execute the code by right-clicking on the race's games of skill 5 method. Here is the result on console. Here is the problem statement. I am going to define a new method for determining the race's games of skill for earlier solved problem 6. Let initialize racing distance 1, racing distance 2, racing distance 3, distance when P beats Q, and distance when Q beats R variables. Next, distance covered by Q equals racing distance 1 minus distance when P beats Q, divided by racing distance 1 multiplied by racing distance 3. Next, distance covered by R equals racing distance 3 plus distance when Q beats R divided by racing distance 2 multiplied by distance covered by Q. Next, distance when P beats R is the difference between racing distance 3 and distance covered by R. Here, I am printing the distance when P beats R. Execute the code by right-clicking on the race's games of skill 6 method. Here is the result on console. Hope you liked this video. In order to see new videos, don't forget to subscribe to Promathematica channel.